Hello everyone, and welcome to the final part of the Heart Sutra, reading with explanation. As always, let's begin again by reading the Heart Sutra one more time. Prajnaparamita Heart Sutra. The Bodhisattva Avalokiteshvara, while practicing the profound Prajnaparamita, clearly saw that all five skandhas are empty, thus overcoming all suffering. Sariputra, form is no different from emptiness. Emptiness no different from form. Form is just emptiness. Emptiness, just form. Sensation, perception, volition, and consciousness are also like this. Sariputra, this is the emptiness of all dharmas. They neither arise nor cease, are neither defiled nor pure, neither increase nor decrease. For this reason, within emptiness there is no form, no sensation, perception, volition, or consciousness. No eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, or mind. No sight, sound, scent, taste, touch, or thought. No seeing, up to even no thinking. No ignorance, nor end of ignorance. Even no aging and death, nor end of aging and death. No suffering, origin, cessation, or path. No wisdom, and no attainment. Because nothing is attained. Bodhisattvas maintain prajnaparamita. Then their heart is without hindrance. And since without hindrance, without fear, escaping upside-down dreamlike thinking, and completely realizing nirvana. All Buddhas of all times maintain prajnaparamita, thus attaining anuttara samyak sambodhi. Hence know, prajnaparamita is the all-powerful mantra, the great enlightening mantra, the unexcelled mantra, the unequaled mantra, able to dispel all suffering. This is true, not false. Therefore proclaim the prajnaparamita mantra. Recite the mantra thus: Gate, Gate, Paragate, Parasamgate, Bodhisvaha. And since without hindrance, without fear, escaping upside-down dreamlike thinking and completely realizing nirvana. Here, Avalokiteshvara Bodhisattva is describing a liberated mind, one that is free from hindrance and fear. Hindrance just means that all doubt has been removed. Everything makes sense and there is pure, perfect clarity. Freedom from fear refers to the three main fears that everyone experiences: fear from death, fear from loss, and fear from suffering. Freedom from the fear of death comes from the teaching of non-self. Freedom from the fear of loss comes from the teaching of impermanence. And then freedom from the fear of suffering comes from the understanding of emptiness. By understanding the teachings of the Heart Sutra and penetrating the reality of emptiness, then we will no longer be suffering. We will perceive suffering just like another sensation, another emotion and feeling. It arises and passes away, and we don't identify with it, and so we don't suffer the suffering. The teaching of emptiness brings great clarity to the mind, and this helps us escape the upside-down dreamlike thinking. Here we are referring to a mind that is free from delusion, free from compulsive thoughts, free from extreme views, and free from misunderstanding. Because delusion, compulsive thinking, extreme views, and misunderstanding is why we have this upside-down dreamlike thinking. And the teaching of emptiness helps everything make sense, which leads to great clarity. Ultimately, the goal is to realize complete nirvana, which is complete inner clarity, experiential oneness and unity, and perfect stillness and peace. This is the supreme blissful state, the state of Buddhahood, the state of complete enlightenment that one attains by penetrating the teachings of emptiness within the Heart Sutra. All Buddhas of all times maintain prajnaparamita, thus attaining anuttara samyak sambodhi. All Buddhas of all times maintain prajnaparamita, because prajnaparamita is the only way to realize the perfect state of liberation and clarity of the Buddha. We can realize this state by maintaining the wisdom of emptiness. There are many states of liberation. Some people just feel very liberated from suffering. Some people feel liberated from stress. Some feel liberated from fear, fear of loss, fear of suffering, fear of death. Everyone can enjoy different states of liberation, different states of joy and peace and bliss. And these are all different states that anyone can achieve through their own realization. But the state of the Buddha is completely different. The state of the Buddha is the highest point of liberation, where there is no more suffering left. Not only suffering, but no more ignorance left. Everything makes sense without any more doubt in the mind. And so that is why wisdom is so important. which is why the teachings of emptiness is so important. Here it describes the main realization that all Buddhas have to be able to maintain at this higher state. And the key is prajnaparamita, which also means wisdom. Wisdom of what? Wisdom of emptiness. But here I should make it clear that we are not supposed to attach to emptiness, because attaching to emptiness is the same as attaching to form, because they are non-dualistic concepts. They are two sides of the same coin. Real emptiness is just the realization that emptiness is form. If we attach to emptiness, then we are not believing that emptiness is form. We are siding with emptiness. If we really see that emptiness is form, then we can attach and detach at will. We can navigate within form while still abiding with the realization that form is emptiness. There is no fear of form, just as much as there is no fear of emptiness, because we perceive them equally and we can navigate around them at will. This is what it means to realize emptiness, not to attach to emptiness and then disregard everything in the world. Then that would be siding with the nihilistic view, which the Buddha has said time and time again that is the wrong view. We don't want to destroy all the dharmas. We don't want to reject everything. That would be nihilistic. We want to realize the non-dual nature of all reality, that everything is originally one, that everything creates itself, and there was never any separation in the first place. That is what it means by form is emptiness, and emptiness is form. Good is bad. Right is wrong, because they are measured and defined against one another. You cannot have one without the other. So it wouldn't make sense to seek the good and reject the bad. It wouldn't make sense to seek liberation and reject samsara, because they are creating each other. And the realization of real emptiness is to realize that they are the same thing. Form is emptiness. We don't side with one over the other. We accept both, and we allow both to come and go with ease. Anuttara Samyak Sambodhi means the unexcelled perfect enlightenment. Anuttara means unexcelled. Samyak means perfect, perfection. Sambodhi means enlightenment, Buddhahood. And so Anuttara Samyak Sambodhi means the highest state, where there is nothing left to learn, and it represents complete liberation from all binding states. There is no more states that bind us. We have attained complete liberation. Liberation from what? That depends on every individual, because everyone is bound by different things. Some people are bound by excessive fear, some by excessive jealousy, others by excessive attachment, others by excessive anxiety. So by being able to attain complete liberation, to attain Anuttara Samyak Sambodhi, is to be free from all the things that used to bind us. Hence know, Prajnaparamita is the all-powerful mantra, the great enlightening mantra, the unexcelled mantra, the unequaled mantra, able to dispel all suffering. Here, mantra is a very magical, mysterious word in Buddhism. It is said to be a spell that has magical, inconceivable powers. If you have faith in the mantra, it will work in your favor. If you don't have faith in the mantra, then it won't work at all. The reason why this following mantra, the mantra of the Heart Sutra, is all-powerful, because it can help you achieve anything you want. And again, this is where it requires a lot of faith. If you are able to practice the mantra with devotion, with faith, and with pure conviction, and you spend a lot of time cultivating this practice of this mantra, then you will attain a state where you can achieve anything you want. Of course, anything you want has to be within reason, has to be aligned with the Heart Sutra. If one is still cultivating all the negative dharmas and practicing all the unwholesome roots, then it will be much more difficult, because you won't be in alignment with the Heart Sutra and its essence. Great enlightening means that this mantra leads to wisdom, insight, and liberation, leads to the highest enlightenment states. And so this is why this mantra is taught within the Heart Sutra, because this mantra is a representation of the meaning and purpose of the Heart Sutra, which is to teach us emptiness, to liberate us from our attachments and from our ignorance. Unexcelled and unequaled means that no other mantra can compare in energy and in power. There are an infinite amount of mantras in the world. They all have different purposes and meanings and do different things. This mantra within the Heart Sutra, because it has the power of all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. This is why in the previous part it says that all Buddhas of all times maintain Prajnaparamita. And so Prajnaparamita is within this mantra. And why is this mantra so powerful? Because it is able to dispel all suffering. Dispelling all suffering has two meanings to it. One is that it actually helps you alleviate all your suffering, And one is that it helps you stop identifying with your suffering, so that just like thoughts, suffering can come and go, but you remain unaffected because you realize that this is not my suffering. You have transcended identification of the suffering. It now just becomes suffering. Just like it is anger, greed, jealousy, thoughts, feelings, and sensations. They are no longer mine. It is just what is for the moment, and what is will pass away in the next moment. This is true, not false. Therefore, proclaim the Prajnaparamita mantra. True, not false, is very important to understand in this day and age, especially in the Dharma declining age. So there are three main ages that the Buddha predicted. The first 1,000 years after the Buddha's death is the Dharma thriving age, because this age was still very close to the Buddha, and so the practitioners still understood the teachings of the Buddha because of how close they were to the Buddha's death. The second age is the Dharma semblance age, where the understanding and practice was slowly starting to weaken, but still strong enough that many people were still able to attain enlightenment. Not as much as the first Dharma thriving age, where basically everyone was able to attain the highest states. Now we are in the last 10,000 years, 2,000 years after the Buddha's death. This is the Dharma declining age. This is where we are growing further and further apart from the real teachings, and there are so many more false teachings arising that most people are unable to discern the right teachings from the wrong teachings. Basically, in the Surangama Sutra, the Buddha explained how to spot the wrong teachings are ones that encourage the breaking of the 5 precepts. If they are encouraging killing, it's a wrong teaching. If they encourage lying, it's a wrong teaching. If they encourage stealing, sexual misconduct, or intoxication of the mind, these are wrong teachings. And so in the Dharma ending age, there are a lot more false teachings and misleading teachers. So it's important for us to find the true teachings like the Buddha Dharma, and honest teachers like the Buddhist monks and the Sangha, the Buddhist community. Here, proclaim means that Bodhisattva Avalokiteshvara is urging us to share the teachings within the Heart Sutra and proclaim the mantra for the benefit of all sentient beings. Anyone who is able to understand and penetrate the truth of emptiness is able to be liberated from all suffering. So this is very important, that if we are able to realize the benefits of the Heart Sutra ourselves, we must share it and proclaim it to others around. Recite the mantra thus: Gate, gate, paragate, parasamgate, bodhisvaha. So now we get to the actual mantra of the Heart Sutra. Gate, gate, paragate, parasamgate, bodhisvaha. There are many translations of this mantra and many translations of all the Buddhist mantras, although words can never define or interpret the true essence of the Buddha Dharma and the Buddhist mantras. However, gate, gate means going, going. Paragate means going on, beyond. Parasamgate means always going on beyond. Bodhisvaha means always becoming a Buddha. So going, going is pointing towards right effort, right diligence, to practice sincerely and practice well. Going on beyond means to go beyond this shore onto the other shore, which is prajnaparamita. Going on beyond means you have to work hard to transcend birth and death, transcend cyclical existence, transcend samsara. Always going on beyond means that we must always practice in every thought moment. We must never relax at any moment, but always maintain mindfulness of the right teachings, mindfulness of the Heart Sutra, mindfulness of emptiness. Real emptiness, not attachment to emptiness. Bodhisvaha means always becoming the Buddha. Because if we stop becoming the Buddha, the next moment we can become a sentient being. Every moment of enlightenment is a moment of Buddhahood. The next moment, if we slip back into ignorance, back into greed and anger and jealousy, we are back as a normal sentient being, or even worse, a very unwholesome person. So it's very important to maintain the mind of the Buddha, maintain the heart of purity, and maintain a sincere practice every single moment, so that we are always becoming a Buddha. So now this ends part 3 of the Heart Sutra, reading and explanations. In the next part, we are going to talk about how we can practice the Heart Sutra in our everyday lives through cultivating the 3 acts of goodness: do good deeds, speak good words, and think good thoughts. See you there.